Okay, I'm going to show you how we're going to do this Delft tile project. First, hopefully you already have your design done in a 4x4 format. I just printed this one out, but you could have designed your own. And then you're going to use this transfer paper. I have these big sheets. You can cut it down so that it matches the size of your reference image. Now there are two different sides. There's the shiny black side and the kind of chalky other side. You're going to put the shiny black side face down underneath your reference. And then we're going to get our tile ready. Everybody's going to get one of these ones. And what we're going to do is we're going to start by putting a base coat of white glaze. Some really broad brushes. And then over here I have a huge bucket of white glaze, okay? You need to stir it before you start. We definitely don't want any water on the surface, okay? That will not make a good glaze coat. And then you're just gonna dip and you can wipe your brush off. And then you're gonna do a coat of glaze nice and evenly across the surface. Don't worry about the sides, but you do want a nice even coat. Go all the way to the edge. Now this first coat is going to dry really quickly. The next coats are going to dry a little bit slower. That's just the way it goes. Okay. The next coat, I want to go in the opposite direction I went in the first one so that we get a nice even coating. Okay, see, this one dried a little bit slower, and the last one, if you can, kind of go diagonally. Okay, so this coating that we just did is going to make your tile solid white. If you have any mess ups, grab one of these little sponges and you can wipe up the sides. Next, you're going to take your plan, your reference, and your transfer paper. Remember the shiny side down, and you're going to put it on the tile like this. And then you're going to tape it on, because if it moves, we are in trouble. And then you could get like double images or something crazy like that. So we don't want the top image to move or your transfer paper to move. To make sure it's oriented the way you want it. Okay, so now I'm set up, and what I'm going to do is just trace over the design I have. Like this. Just with a pencil, or really a pen, it doesn't matter. But take your time to do it well, because this is what you're going to use to do the actual painting below. So what's going to happen is that transfer paper is going to put a little faint copy of what we have here onto the next page, onto your little glaze layer. Okay, I'm not going to bore you by doing this entire thing, but you get the sense of it. Okay, you would do all the things that you want to put on your final thing, and then you want to peel up your tape and check. Okay, it transferred, but it's really light. Okay, so you see how it kind of transferred here? It's just going to transfer really, really lightly, so you're going to have to be super careful. Now, if you lift it and you don't see anything, it's probably because your transfer paper is not oriented correctly, okay? So if that happens and nothing transferred, just flip your transfer paper over and trace again, okay? Next, we're going to use our little cobalt wash and ridiculously tiny paintbrushes. We have a whole bunch of them to choose from. You probably want to use the tiniest ones you can find, okay? So wipe your brush off. You don't want a big old puddle on here. Now here's the deal. If you messed up on the drawing phase, don't worry. All this pencil is gonna burn off. It'll never show up in the final product. However, this cobalt wash is forever. Once you put it on this, you cannot get it off, okay? Because you're putting blue stain on white. You would have to just rinse this entire tile off and start all the way over if that happens. So be super careful while you're doing this. So dip, wipe, and then start. It's not gonna look super impressive right now because it's gonna have to wait until it's fired. Take your time and try to do the longest strokes you can do. Try to keep all of your lines really smooth. And that'll make it look the best you can make it look. You can also fill in, so for this kind of like cloud shape that was on there, I could trace the edge and then I can come back and fill it in. More coats of this color are really not gonna do much difference. You pretty much, cobalt wash is a cobalt wash. It's one and done, okay? You do want it to be even. You don't want glumps or globs, but you don't need to worry about doing 3 coats like we did with the under part. When you're done, you're gonna wanna flip it over and write your name clearly and legibly, not your initials, okay? That way we know that it's yours, because right now you know that it's yours, but when I have 90 of these bad boys, they're all gonna look pretty similar, okay? Thank you.